Hi, I'm Gillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul, and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, but I truly believe that the twin flame separation is one of the biggest scams in the spiritual world. And I know, listen, that might trigger some people out there, but honestly, kind of good. Because I really want to explain my experiences and what I've seen about this particular dynamic and why I feel that it's so distorted from the truth and why it's keeping so many people in the spiritual community that are here to do bigger things in the world, why it's keeping them stuck, right? Because if you are in this dynamic, right, then I know for a fact you're exhausted and you're most definitely confused. And I would probably hasten to say that you've maybe been told by some TikTok tarot reader, and no shade to the TikTok tarot readers because I love you guys, you know, that this person is your twin flame, or that you're just in separation, or, you know, they're going to come back when, you know, they heal, or you heal, or, you know, they shift through their avoidant tendencies, whatever it is. But at the same time, as you're freaking scrolling TikTok to see when they're going to come back, you're sitting there in your room, like, feeling like so obsessed with that person, so obsessed with someone that isn't choosing you, right? And we need to talk about it because it's a real thing. And honestly, here's what I would actually love to know, to be fair. Here's what I would love to know, and I mean genuinely, I would love to know how many people out there thought they'd met their twin flame, were told maybe that they were in separation from that person, and that actually ended up in a healthy, and I want to add that, they actually ended up in a healthy, stable, long-term relationship with that person. Like, real question here. How many of those stories have actually ended up in like a grounded mutual relationship? Because from what I have seen, most of them had stayed stuck for years. Like years. It's insane to me. Like waiting, pining for that person, like maybe interpreting signs and just reading into everything. Like that is a horrible place to stay in. But there is a gift in this, right? So it's not all like doom and gloom, and I always want to give a lesson or a gift in any of my episodes. So I'm not just saying this is bad, this is wrong, like, you know, you're in this place, it's your trauma, etc., etc. I want to show you the gift from why this is actually happening to you at the same time, right? Because I personally, and this is my own personal belief, right? Like, you can believe whatever you want. It's your life, right? But I personally believe that the twin flame separation as a concept just keeps you in this loop, right? It gives meaning to, one, accepting breadcrumbs and inconsistency from someone. Two, it's making you accept people that have either the emotional availability of a shoe, they maybe keep smashing you with their hot and cold behavior. Like, we are not doing that anymore, right? This is 2026, for God's sake. We are not doing unhealthy, unstable relationships. You know, because when you truly believe that someone who isn't with you is your twin flame, like when you believe that that person is your twin flame, but they are not with you, it's kind of like, how I would say, it's kind of allowing you to reframe what probably is your own emotional attachment, your own desire for that person or what that person represents, as maybe you're interpreting it as some kind of like spiritual growth. And again, like I said, although this experience will help you grow, hopefully, it's probably not going to be in the way that you think. In fact, it never is in the way that you think. From what I've experienced, from all of the tales of this that I've seen, the clients that I've experienced that have gone through this, you know, a lot of when you're in this loop of like, my twin is in separation and they're coming back to me at some point, it's keeping you thinking that it's all going to happen in divine timing. And yes, okay, whilst divine timing is absolutely fucking real, like, please do not let that feed delusions that keep you stuck from actually finding a partner that is right for you. Because, you know, what it really boils down to is that it's about someone who isn't choosing you. That is the reality of it, right? When you're stuck in these loops of like, it's my person, you're still holding on to them, you still have attachment to them, you're still having cords to them, your energy is leaking towards them, you are still in that mind frame and allowing the energy of someone that isn't choosing you. And that's the dangerous part about it all, like feeding into that concept, because it's going to make you override your intuition 100%, because it's your intuition that is like, that's your intuition that tells you like something's off, right? But when you tune into the twin flame narrative, it is kind of overriding your intuition and going, no, this is deep, they're just running, you know, you're missing, you're mirroring each other's wounds, whatever it is. And I just don't agree. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. But on a serious note, truthfully, I do understand why it is so easy to fall into believing that this is the situation with some people, because these types of connections genuinely do make you believe that, because they feel fucking intense as hell, right? So you might feel like you've had telepathic experiences, dreams about them, synchronicities, you might be feeling their energy, you might be thinking about them constantly, and you're like, this has to mean something. Like, this is what you, and I get it. Like, as I said, I 100% get it. Why? Because of the intensity of those connections, why you believe it has to mean something. And like I said, it does mean something, but not the something that you think it is, right? It's not what you've been told. Because, again, from my experience, from what I've intuited, that is your nervous system firstly going berserk, like at the push and pull or the activation of, usually it's your old childhood patterns, it's usually your own attachment style, it's actually a level of trauma bonding, you know, that you have created, like this energetic and emotional entanglement to that person, what they represent, whatever it may be, right? And listen, you also probably had a past life or two with this person, but again, it doesn't mean that you're meant to be together in this life again. But this is why these connections can feel so intense to start with. You know, but this is the hard part, right? Especially when you're a spiritual, especially when you're on your intuitive and spiritual journey. Like, you don't just connect emotionally with someone, you're connecting energetically. So of course that's going to feel cosmic as fuck. But what's actually happening, again, when I've tuned into the energetics of this concept of what's happened with certain ones of my clients, what I see over and over again in these twin flame dynamics is that, yes, like I said, there is a deep soul recognition. There's a deep level soul recognition with this person. You know, you have known each other in past lifetimes. You've played different roles in each other's lifetimes. This part is 100% real, right? Like, you've known each other in some capacity before, because you have. That's why there's this instant familiarity, this like insane pull towards them. But again, remember, that doesn't mean that you're meant to be in a romantic relationship with them now. But again, I understand why it gets confusing. I've seen this come up so many times with my clients who've had this like insane attraction to someone, even clients who are married, and they're like, oh my God, why am I feeling this way about this other person? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then when I've gone into the soul timelines, when I've gone into the past lifetimes, I could see exactly what the connection was, why it was coming up now for them, and how to clear it. Because again, there's always a bigger lesson for us. And our healing, and as part of our healing, when these people enter our lives, right? Because they like, these people don't come up by chance. And this isn't happening to you right now by chance. They come to wake us the fuck up. And they come to advance us in some way. You know, this has all been preordained, pre-planned for your evolution, for your ascension journey. And, you know, different souls play different roles in that journey, in our growth. Some come with challenges, some come with soul lessons, some come with just pure unconditional love. It's all different depending on your unique journey and what you've chosen to master, heal from, and learn in this incarnation. You know, and it's not just this incarnation, right? It's multiple incarnations, but we'll just focus on this one for now, right? And the other big thing that I see in these types of dynamics is this person has, or what they represent, or their energy, their soul, again, on a soul level, right? They've come in to trigger your unresolved patterns, your own wounds. Like I said, many of these are from our childhood. But again, we can absolutely bring things in that we're still carrying from our past lives, imprints from our whole ancestral line too. You know, I've seen with clients that they're replaying patterns of unrequited love. They're replaying patterns of like siblings, one died and they feel that loss. So again, it's the energetics, it's the energy, it's the imprints that's actually coming up that they're feeling that that's now awakening, and that's why it feels so intense. Like the loss feels so hard. You know, and the key ones that I see come up with these, of course, are abandonment, rejection, not feeling chosen, overgiving, trying to earn love. And instead of seeing that as a wound, a lot of people in the spiritual community, right, they stay in that twin flame narrative instead of actually looking at what is there, right? Like they're thinking, oh, this is just a mirror, this is mirroring them, this is mirroring me. And it's like, no, it's not. You know, a lot of the times the other person is not mirroring any of their wounds within themselves. They might have them, but a lot of the times it isn't the same thing. They are mirroring yours back to you so you can see them for yourself. And again, this isn't something they're consciously doing. It's happening on a soul level. It's happening beyond our perception of anything. They're just doing them, right? They're just out, married someone else and got kids. They don't even know that they're doing anything to you, but you're sitting there just like feeling all these craziness feelings and this intensity, and you're believing it to be something else when actually their separation, their distance is really just the mirror for you to look at yourself, right? And like I said before, when someone is either in and out of your life, they're hot and cold, they're available 1 minute, then gone the next, or they're just gone, right? They were in your life and then they're gone. Like this is the separation, right? This is the disconnect. Our brain, especially if you've had trauma at a young age, right? Your brain becomes addicted. It's literally the same mechanism as gambling. You know, it's actually called a thing called intermittent reinforcement. Like this is a big one, right? It's literally psychology. So this is where you keep thinking, oh, like this time it'll happen, this time it'll land. You know, like when you're putting the money in the slot machines, it's like, okay, next one, it's gonna happen. And then maybe you get like a little win and then it keeps you addicted, right? Because you're getting a little something and it keeps you in this loop, keeps you hooked. I mean, it's addiction. That's really what it is. And then of course we have to go into like the psychic attachment, the energy cords piece, again, because when you're spiritual, when you're intuitive, we're all energetic beings, right? But you have a heightened awareness of energy, right? And you can feel energy, see energy, etc. So when you connect with someone at such a deep level, or when you have strong emotions, or when you have unresolved imprints from past lifetimes that are still carrying within the energy field, you can of course form energetic cords, right? So again, this is where you think of them constantly, you feel them randomly, or you dream about them. Like, but that doesn't mean that they're your person. It just means that there's an energetic connection that hasn't been cleared. So this is why the energy work is so clear. And again, getting clear, what is this? What actually is this? And not letting the perceived notion of all the other things cloud your judgment around what this actually is, you know? And I want to say something that maybe if you're in this dynamic, right, it might sting a little bit, but trust me, it will set you free. Most twin flame separation stories are actually just around unavailable people, mixed signals, your emotional wounds, your attachment, and the longer you stay in that story, the longer you're gonna delay like real love coming into your life, like that real genuine level of partnership, that real stability coming into your life. Because when you're connected so heavily to someone else, you are energetically unavailable for anything else because you're still completely tied to them. You know, and if you found yourself in this type of dynamic, then I just want you to know, like I said before, this connection does have a purpose, but it's just not the one that you think. You know, it really is a blessing. And yes, you have a soul contract with that person because you've both agreed to enter each other's lives for a bigger reason. This has come into your reality right now at this exact time because it's here to show you a few things, right? It's here to show you where you still continue to abandon your own self, right? This is probably a theme in your life, right? Abandonment. where you still override your inner knowing. Or on the flip side, this is here to deepen your intuitive abilities. Again, this is growth. This is all about ascension, and nothing is linear, and we're all going up the ladder of our mastery, of our expertise, of our soul evolutionary journey. And that sometimes comes with these the bigger themes that maybe you thought you healed, or maybe you thought you've mastered, but it's an ongoing process. Like it doesn't stop, right? So to the end of your life, you're going to be doing this work. And these key themes, these key topics, these key areas that we're here to transform in our lives, in our inner self, and here to master, they will continually come up in different parts of your life. It doesn't stop. I had someone say to me, "Oh, I've done all of my healing," and I'm just like, watch. Watch, because anyone that's saying that is just coming from an ego place. You're never done. You're never done. There's always things that are going to come up. Life is always going to challenge you. If you're spiritual or not, it's always going to challenge you. But it's actually having the bigger awareness to see clearly what this actually is, and the deeper work that you've got to do, the deeper work that you're being asked to do when this comes up, right? It's also showing you where you're still accepting less than you deserve, right? And probably it's coming up right now because you are craving a relationship. You are craving connection. You are craving a deeper level of vulnerability. But of course, to be able to get that type of relationship that you want so badly, are you really a match for it, right? Are you really a match for it? Because if you're still accepting less than, then you're not a match for this pinnacle relationship, or maybe where you put someone on a podium and that's not your person, right? It's also where you're confusing intensity with alignment, right? And I know this is hard. Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there where, the person that you are actually meant to be with, like your person, your love, your soulmate, that person isn't going to feel like this. It is not going to feel the level of intensity that you are feeling right now. And again, maybe you've had lots of relationships that's just been a bit chaotic, that have been a bit toxic. So it's kind of like all you know, right? And this intensity is just a confusion for this person being aligned, but it's not, right? So this truly, if this is happening to you, amazing. I do see amazing, because it's a wake-up call for you, right? A call for you to evolve to your next identity. The person that can truly trust their intuition, the person that can actually move past their old relationship wounds, their old patterns, and into new versions of themselves. This is what you're being asked to do, right? I always see our life as, and this is the work that I do with my private clients, right? Our journey is the journey of spiritual ascension, right? So it's a journey of spiritual leadership. It's our own soul authority, right? And that is, we evolve in these different areas. That's why I work in, the key areas that I'll tend to work with my clients on is purpose. So opening up your spiritual gift, your intuition, leading life from that space. Partnerships, because these all have an ascension path, right? You have your purpose ascension path, which is through opening your gifts. You have a partnership ascension path, right? Which is healing the relationship with yourself, with your parents, with your family, with your ancestors, all the relationship dynamics, right? This is an ascension path in itself. This is an evolutionary path. And then also prosperity, right? What we're actually here to do, how we're meant to share our gifts with the world, how we're meant to make impact and income using our own soul gifts and our spiritual abilities. So these are the key 3 areas that I work with my private coaching clients, because they all interlap into each other. And usually it's never like one segment I'm working with a client. It's like it really taps on all of them, because again, these are the keys to our spiritual ascension: purpose, partnership, and prosperity from my perspective. So this is going to come up, and this is coming up because there's a part of you that's asking to evolve in this area right now. It's for your bigger growth. So if you've been sitting there thinking like, they're my twin flame and we're just in separation, like I really, really want you to ask yourself, firstly, how long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting for this person to come back? Are they with someone? Do they have kids? Are they married? Like, what's even going on? What has this waiting actually cost me? Or what has this experience, this behavior, this whatever has transpired from you believing this to be true, what has it cost me? Has it cost me my time? Has it cost me meeting someone else? Has it cost me a connection with that person? Has it cost me, what else has it cost me? And if I'm really honest, like, does this feel peaceful? Or does it feel totally and completely consuming to your entire being? Because like I said, real love does not feel like obsession. It doesn't feel like any other of confusion for that matter. It doesn't feel like you're constantly trying to decode someone. It feels abundantly clear. It feels super grounded. It feels very mutual. And most importantly, this is really what I want to preface here is you are chosen. Not someday, not when they come back, not when they heal, not when you heal, none of that shit. You are chosen right now. Are they choosing you? Have they chosen you? And if you're not being chosen by them, then they are not your twin. So if this one hit you, if you're realizing that you've been stuck in one of these dynamics, if you are asking for your next level of partnership with calling someone new in, this is exactly the kind of work I do with my clients. Help you understand your past life connections, understand the bigger soul lessons for you, work through whatever is there for you as you ascend, as this is part of your ascension path. So you can actually move forward, so you can open yourself up to real love, so you can stop looping in something that is keeping you stuck. And I hasten to say that the things that are underneath you being in this dynamic is impacting your other spheres of ascension too. Your prosperity ascension path and your purpose ascension path, because they're all interlinked. And this is why I work on all of them. So until next time, I am sending you so much love, so much blessings. I know this is a challenging time, but just if anything resonated with you, then just look at this from a different perspective.